10 years ago, the first ever festival was held.
That's right.
Take me through the process of actually getting to that point where you decided as a unit with the other co-founders that this is a movement you wanted to start and sustain, and 10 years on has become a global phenomenon.
Well, yeah, it's a good question. So we started really as student activists in Australia. And, my first foray into international development, we were doing fundraisers at school. You do quiz nights, movie nights, you raise funds, and you build schools.
Yes.
And you would go to countries, back in Australia, it was often in the Pacific, East Timor, Papua New Guinea, and you'd be like, wow, we're going to have to build a lot of schools, and no amount of charity gala night dinners is enough. And you're like, that's a drop in the ocean. End in poverty, it was Nelson Mandela who said, end in poverty is not an act of charity, it's an act of justice. It's about changing systems. And we've seen throughout history when systemic barriers occur, structural change, it requires a social movement. And we found that we call it pop meets pop policy, where we use popular culture, music to unite people, galvanize. We found it was a fantastic way to mainstream these issues, get people involved. And the very first Global Citizen Festival was a gentleman called Ryan Gore. He goes, I think unlike traditional benefit concerts where you charge people for money, you can raise a few $1 million, but why don't you give the tickets away for free, but use it as an incentive for people to take action?
Yes.
And so we have people calling on world leaders to, whether it's on empowering girls, taking action on climate change, avoiding a global food crisis, and then leaders respond. And so in that way, over the last 10 years, we've seen over 30 million actions and over $40 billion worth delivered from world leaders in response.
Amazing. Now, coming to what you just stated about using popular culture and music on that, how easy was it to decide on using music as the propeller to be able to push your movement? And did you expect it to have caught fire as quickly as it did?
It's funny because now I've been involved in producing all these concerts in India and South Africa. I still remember the first time we did something, it was with John Legend in Australia, and someone was like, was that Mick we just heard on the radio? Because I was a nerd in school. In fact, in Australia we call it a sausage sizzle, like a barbecue.
Really?
And I had organized my one event, and it was very poorly done. 50 people came along, saw these sausages on the barbecue that was uncooked, and they thought, okay, good grief, we're going away. So I was not set up for success. Fortunately, when we got involved and we said, okay, let's try doing this concert, bringing people together, we had some amazing people willing to support us. We had people like Universal Music Group, Michelle Anthony. We had people like Pearl Jam in the US, their manager at the time, Kelly Curtis. We just found, I think there's something powerful when you're young. If you can have clarity of an idea, people kept on saying, do you really think this will work? Do you think leaders will respond? And the artist community just galvanized and got behind it. And one of them is with us here today, Usher.
I know.
Usher's been working with us for 7 years now. He's performed with us from Central Park, Johannesburg, in Montreal, and he's been getting his fans engaged for close to a decade now. But he's so excited to be here back on the continent in Ghana.
Now, how easy was it to get the world really to buy into this idea of the movement at being a global citizen and then advancing change across various sectors across the world?
We've seen artists get engaged, and we've seen tremendous response from global citizens. Being in South Africa 5 years ago was just extraordinary.
Massive. I watched at home.
It was
life-changing.
Amazing. It was extraordinary. It was one of the best years of my life, honestly. But leaders, they come and go, and leaders, they can respond one day when it's seen as popular to be a good global citizen on climate change. The next day they can be closing their borders.
Yes.
Or like the British government, right? They've gone from a leader on international development to slashing their aid budgets. And so you could actually argue the last few years, let's look at what happened with vaccine hoarding. Africa was at the back of the queue while the rich countries hoarded the vaccine. Look on climate change. The wealthy countries have promised $100 billion every year to help developing countries respond to the issues of climate change, right? And so you could argue the last few years where we saw 100 million people pushed back into extreme poverty actually underscores the need for global solidarity. It underscores the need for a movement like Global Citizen and people coming together, because we're not getting that leadership from our leaders. And it's been our belief that citizens have to be the agent of change. It starts with us. We have to use our voice because we're not seeing it from leaders around the world. There's a real void in global leadership right now.
Absolutely. Citizens have to be the change. I love that. Now, If you could describe who a global citizen is, how would you describe who a global citizen is?
Look, I think, there's often this sense that, okay, to be a global citizen, do I have to be, the selfless person who's devoting every single activity, every single waking hour to these issues? The reality is we all have different interests, right? Some of us are passionate about music. Some of us are passionate about sport. Some of us are passionate about creating change and and creating good, peaceful change in the world. Our proposition at Global Citizen is that you can do all of that, right? You don't have to say, okay, I'm going to be a selfless person. You can use music. You can actually use your interests as an entry point to learn more about these issues. And so a global citizen is someone who looks across all of their activity and say, okay, how can I use my voice? How can I create change? And it's also about saying we recognize that what happens on one part of the world impacts us here.
What made you decide to do Ghana, really?
Look, I think Ghana just means and symbolizes so much. The Black Star Square, freedom, justice, equality, that story and what it means, it's powerful and there's something sacred. I think all of us, when we first stepped onto that square, we knew that we've got to do this at some point.
There's some magic here.
And it's a magical place, like having been here a month. And I think it also symbolizes a lot of progress on the Sustainable Development Goals.
Absolutely.
For the last decade, people have spoken about the progress here in Ghana. It's also an incredible top destination for cultural makers, right? Like everyone says, look at what's going on in Ghana. And so I really hope that, this helps to challenge a lot of outdated assumptions about Ghana. I really hope, as much as it's about bringing the world to Ghana, and it's fantastic, Stormzy, Usher and others are flying in, I really hope it's about bringing Ghana and Africa to the world.
Talking about the artist, Usher, who has been with the organization for the last 7 years, SZA, Her, Stormzy, Jackie, Stonebwoy, Sarkodie, and I know some I think it's Uncle Waffles I saw coming.
Uncle Waffles is coming.
I'm so excited for the list, but what led you to sort of select, Usher by virtue of how much work he's done with the organization is almost a given, but about the other artists as well, what led you to select who should be mounting the stage at the Black Star Square?
Well, look, for us, it's always about partnership as well. So we have conversations, people get on board, but for us, it's always really important that we say, don't just come and sing. You have to get involved in the cause. You have to learn about these issues. You have to get your fans engaged. And so, this is not like, the artists perform for free. They come here, they give their time, but this is about a cause, and it's those artists that really understand that get engaged. And I think there's something special. We wanted obviously local artists like Stonebwoy as well, but we also, South Africa meant a lot to us, so having people like Uncle Waffles as well is really incredible. But we're excited because they do this for free. They give up their time. They fly in. And so, we're just really grateful to have all their support. All of them are going to be sensational. And
we cannot wait. Like, honestly, I don't know what I'll do when Usher climbs that stage. I will probably faint. It's very likely. So, ambulance perhaps. Big day tomorrow, Saturday. It starts at, people are supposed to be there by 2:30 p.m.
Good. I'm glad you know that. It's very important.
Come in early.
Yeah,
get free drinks or drink voucher at least.
Yeah, well, okay. So it's important to get there early, and you need to bring the ticket.
Yes.
If you get a ticket, you won't be able to get in. So bring that ticket. Get there from 2:30 p.m. The first 500 people who get there, you're right, we've got a free reward.
Come on.
You've got drink vouchers, and we've also got these nice, cool bandanas.
Yes, I need to cop myself one.
Well,
I'm gonna be there at 1.
We'll get one just for you.
I like it. Okay, which Usher or SZA or Thames or Stormzy song are you looking to jam the most?
Oh. Everyone's so excited about SZA. Like, she's pretty amazing.
She is really amazing.
Have you seen her on Instagram?
I've seen that she's moving around. I saw that yesterday they did quite a few things in around Jamestown and everything. Yeah, I'm excited.
She's just a phenomenal artist, and our team's really excited. I think Usher's also always amazing. I just hope I'm better behind the scenes, so I just hope they don't try and get me up to dance.
No, I will pull you in for dance. Just one.
Who are you excited about?
Usher's been a childhood crush forever. So I think when he starts to sing, when he goes into My Way, I'll probably start breakdancing to it or something.
Yeah, My Way's pretty
Hey
amazing.
Daddy, yeah.
It's funny. We've been going around and we've been noticing in all the cafes and restaurants are all playing Usher songs.
Yeah, because we're so excited.
And we're like, did they see me walk in and with my global citizen
Because
cap?
I did a few Usher playlists and everyone was just going crazy because no one can actually imagine that he will be on that stage and, you know, probably take off his shirt. We just want the ladies in Ghana want him to take off his shirt. Please tell him for us. Just a little peek. But we're really excited, especially seeing our Ghanaian stars also climbing the stage. Sarkodie and Stonebwoy are going to kill it, and we're just really excited for tomorrow night.
I'm trying to think, you know, an action taking. What he can say, you know, if people all get there at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah.
or if the government respond, I don't know. But I mean, I know Usher's out and about today. People might see him. He's really excited to see the country. It's really incredible seeing the history. You know, he's been very fascinated by it.
We're excited, and we're thankful that Global Citizen chose Ghana to host this year's festival, and we are looking forward to even bigger partnerships with the Global Citizen movement moving forward. As a proud global citizen, I'm excited about this, and thank you so much for making time with us.
No, thank you for having me, and I just want to give a shout out to the people of Ghana, like, for hosting us. It's been an incredible experience. Thank you.
Thank you. So tomorrow, be there by 2:30 p.m., guys. If you come even earlier, we'll open the doors for you. But yes, 2:30 p.m. Come in. 500. First 500 get a drink voucher and a bandana. You look stylish while you're having a great time. And as well, DJ Mike Smith, MC Kojo Manuel are going to give us a turn up.
That's right.
Before the incredible stars come in. We're talking SZA, we're talking Thames. I'm looking forward to it. Stormzy is gonna. Oh yeah, he's probably Ghanaian, so we like that. Yeah. We claim him.
But get there early.
Yes, absolutely.
2:30 p.m.
Jackie, Stonebwoy, Sarkodie, and Usher will be climbing that stage. 2:30 p.m. Be there. Do not be late, and let's have a very fabulous time. So make sure you come with your tickets. Do not leave it at home. When you get there, they'll send you back home. But Mike, thank you so much for coming through. A very big thank you to the entire team for making this happen, and of course to our amazing global citizens all across Ghana. We party tomorrow.